What causes men to suddenly grow cold or distant from you? What makes him push you away and shut you out when everything was going well in the relationship? Today, we are revealing the top 5 worst things to say to a man. Warning, some of these will be a little bit of a surprise to you, but by just knowing these 5 things could mean the difference in having a loving and lasting relationship, or one that fizzles out. And you know what they say, knowledge is power. Do you think you can guess what the number 1 worst thing to say to a man is? Stay tuned to find out. Plus, coming up, we'll tell you how you can get a free gift, the top 7 man-melting phrases that make men fall for you. This gift is all yours completely free of charge, so stay tuned to find out how you can get your hands on it. But now, let's begin the countdown of the top 5 worst things to say to a man. Number 5, we need to talk. This is a classic line that comes up in almost every relationship. When men are presented with this statement, his immediate thoughts are, what have I done this time? I'm sure it's not my fault. I'm going to have to explain myself so that she gets me this time. Why can't she be more tolerant? And how long will this talk be? He doesn't think of it as a safe place to talk about an issue. He immediately expects an argument to take place that he cannot win, no matter if he's in the right or the wrong. When a man hears we need to talk, he hears, I need to explain in a lot of detail stuff that you are doing wrong. You need to listen to me and empathise with me and admit full fault. Men are wired to solve problems, and women are wired to chat about things and empathise with each other. To him, we need to talk sounds like an impending, unsolvable problem. It's unsolvable because he doesn't expect to be listened to, and he feels it's an unsafe environment. It's important to remember that men and women's brains are wired a little differently. There have been several studies that prove this. One study, conducted by the University of Pennsylvania Medical School, found that, on average, men connect front to back parts of the brain more strongly than women, whereas women have stronger connections left to right. The result of the study showed that men are often better with perception and action, and women excel more with emotional and intuitive thinking. And not only that, further research has also shown us that men and women see the purpose of the conversation differently from each other. Women see communication as an opportunity to create relationships, connect, and be expressive, whereas men use it as a chance to show dominance and offer solutions to avoid future discussions. In the case of we need to talk, he sees this as your opportunity to show dominance and his lack of opportunity to offer solutions, as he doesn't expect to be listened to. He will want to fix the problem and move on from it, but goes into the conversation with his defences up, not believing it's a safe environment to talk. The good news is there are better ways to start an important talk. Here's what you can say. Hey honey, I just need 5 minutes of your time. Is that okay? Then he's likely to say something like, yeah sure, now's good. Or he'll suggest another time. Even if you need more than 5 minutes, it's so much less daunting when it sounds like it's going to be short than if you go in open-ended. Then when the conversation starts, remember he will want to feel like he can be heard, and if there is a solution, you'll be willing to listen to it. You can give him this feeling by starting with, hey, I know that blank, and you've done such a great job with blank. I really appreciate that, and I just wanted to quickly bring up blank and see if we can come up with a better solution going forward because... Now here's an example of where I fill in those blanks with an example topic like loading the dishwasher. Hey, I know you've been really busy with work, and you've done a great job at putting the clothes in the laundry basket lately. I really appreciate that. I just wanted to bring up the loading of the dishwasher and see if we can come up with a better solution going forward, because the build-up of dishes all over the bench is causing me to feel a lot of stress. As you can see, this introduction to a conversation makes him feel like he is appreciated and that he will be heard. And it's far more likely you'll have a true, open conversation that ends in both of you getting what you want out of it. To be heard, empathised with, and for a solution to be found. Now you have a conversation where everyone wins. Now, I've got a quick challenge for you. Can you fill in the blanks? Do you even blank, 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 blank? That's coming up at number 2, so stay tuned to find out what the question is. Okay, let's move on to number 4. My ex never did that. Men always have and always will hate to hear you talking about your ex, or what's even worse, feel like they're being compared to an ex. Hearing about an ex can truly rattle any man, causing them to feel extremely jealous. Instantly, he feels a lack of appreciation and he must compete and prove himself as the winner. In particular, when talking about your ex, never compare your man to the ex's performance in the bedroom. Ouch. Sexual jealousy really has a way of messing with our emotions when in a relationship. It causes men to feel hurt and a little disconnected from their partner, and confidence levels will quickly crash. It can put a lot of suffering and pain on a person and often lead to couples breaking up or reconsidering the direction of the relationship. Did you know that evidence has shown us that men and women process jealousy completely differently? A study on jealousy at the Karolinska Institute in Sweden has an interesting result. It discovered that men are more likely to be jealous over physical infidelity rather than emotional infidelity. In other words, men would be more upset by their partner having a one-night stand compared to them developing feelings for someone else, whereas women were the other way around. This study found that the woman would be more hurt by an emotional affair than a physical one. So when he hears you talking about your ex, bear in mind that inside his head, he may be jumping to conclusions. No man ever wants to be compared to an ex, and if he feels like he is, he'll begin to feel threatened. That's why men will often shut off or seemingly pull away from the relationship. Jealousy has taken control, and he simply doesn't know how to handle it. Has jealousy ever had a large impact on your relationship in the past? Let us know in the comments below. Number 3, why didn't you put the garbage out? Bear in mind, when we say garbage, this could be easily replaced by something else, like, why didn't you put your clothes in the washing basket? Or, why didn't you pay the power bill? This type of accusatory question naturally leads to defensiveness rather than true listening. When he's under attack, it's easier for him to defend himself rather than look at himself objectively and own up to his mistakes. Why? Because when he's under attack, he feels anxiety and stress. His guard gets raised and he doesn't feel safe to listen calmly. Here's an example for you. When a woman asks her partner, why didn't you put the garbage out? He might say, if you noticed it, why didn't you just go and do it? Or he could say, I had so much on my mind from all that work I do, putting food on the table, why didn't you just remind me? And what is the result from this kind of response? The woman is now feeling hurt that she was snapped at over such a minor thing. And the man is now annoyed that she had to point out something that he didn't do. So it has made him put a wall up in his defense. Psychologist Dr. John Gottman is world-renowned for his work on saving marriages from the brink of divorce. Dr. Gottman says that one of the reasons relationships fail is due to defensiveness. And his findings showed that this is one of the main reasons for early divorce in couples. And of course, unless defensive behaviour is fixed, it can be a vicious cycle. And before you know it, both partners are being defensive towards each other. This results in more conflict and it can drive couples further and further apart. That's why what seemed like a simple question can easily backfire, resulting in unnecessary arguments. If you find that your partner gets defensive easily, it pays to take a moment to identify what the threats are, and then try to explore the reasons for this behaviour. Even by simply adjusting the tone of your voice and body language can make a world of a difference. Such small changes can really impact the response you receive. I have a quick 3-phase method for asking a man about something he forgot to do. 1. Appreciate them. For example, hey, I know you've been super busy at the moment and you've done such an amazing job at the office. I really appreciate all that you do for us. 2. Mention the problem. Just one quick thing, I noticed our power bill didn't get paid this month, so now we missed our prompt payment discount. And 3. Ask to work together on a solution. Is there anything we can do to make sure that next month this doesn't happen? Perhaps you could add an alarm to your phone? When you appreciate him, mention the problem and calmly ask for a solution going forwards, and he can tell that you're relaxed and happy, you are sending him safe signals. You may be pleasantly surprised and have a completely different outcome. This brings us now to the next thing to not say to a man. Number 2, do you even care what I think? This question isn't even really a question. It's rhetorical. It's a direct criticism of the man, and he will not feel empathy when asked in this way. He'll feel irritated and defensive. And according to psychologist John Gottman, this is one of the 4 horsemen of the marriage apocalypse. John has helped save thousands of marriages over 4 decades of breakthrough counselling and research. These 4 horsemen, criticism, defensiveness, contempt, and stonewalling, are the long-term highest predictors of relationship breakups. It's not that they should never occur in a relationship, but by reducing the frequency of these issues is highly important. So when you're unhappy with something in your relationship, while you may feel highly emotional, It's very important not to lead with criticism, as it really doesn't help. But the good news is, there is a two-step approach that works a lot better. We'll look at that in just a moment. But first, here's another example of why leading with criticism doesn't work. A woman says to her partner, "We always talk about you. Why do you never care about what's happening in my day?" This negative statement has left the man feeling attacked, and now he's not wanting to communicate with her at all. So all in all, not a good result. Now let's look at the two-step approach to get what she really wants. Step 1, appreciate. Step 2, ask. Here's an example. "I love talking about your day and appreciate all that you do for us, but I've had such a full-on day and I'd love to talk about it. Is that okay?" This has still got the point across, and it's been achieved in a way without causing any hurt, and thus the conversation continues. Did you know that research has found that insecure people were more likely to act and speak negatively? This will likely be due to their self-doubt and worrying feelings of rejection. They don't know how to respond, so instead they push their partner away. This is often because they start to think that there could be deeper issues, so believe it's best to protect oneself from any future pain. And what's more, studies have found that humans often respond more to negative emotions than we do to positive emotions. So let's say you were to hear a statement that was a mixture of both good and bad. What happens is, our brain will keep a hold of the criticism instead of enjoying the good comments. This means sometimes holding your tongue instead of saying something hurtful will do a lot of good in your relationship. We are almost at number 1 in the countdown of the top 5 worst things to say to a man. But first, we want to give you a free gift, the top 7 man-melting phrases that make men fall for you. This gift is all yours, completely free. Just click on the link in the description below to claim your free gift. Number 1, you're a curse word. Sometimes a man is being a total ass, but that doesn't mean that he is one. When you define him with name-calling, he's not going to change. In fact, he'll only resent you more. Be very careful about defining him as a person as opposed to being frustrated about specific behaviour. When you get frustrated at a situation, he sees it as outside of himself, as something that doesn't define him. So if he's not too caught up in being defensive, he may well listen to you and make a change. Speaking to your partner in this way is known as contempt, and it's very destructive behaviour in the relationship. Contempt slowly builds up over the years, and it has the potential to cause some serious damage. When it shows itself in a relationship, this is a big danger sign, and unfortunately, he will likely mirror that back at you. Remember those 4 horsemen of the marriage apocalypse? The 4 most common predictors of divorce that were discovered through John Gottman's 4 decades of research? Well, according to John Gottman, contempt is the number 1 predictor of relationship breakups. Contempt weakens the bond that holds a couple together, and it becomes impossible to form a secure connection when your relationship becomes deprived of respect. Whether it causes the relationship to end in 5 months or 5 years, contempt is the number 1 killer of a relationship, so it simply cannot be tolerated. Dr. John Gottman summed it up like this: contempt is fueled by long simmering negative thoughts about one's partner, and it arises in the form of an attack on someone's sense of self. Let me show you an example with a hypothetical couple. Let's call them James and Kathy. Kathy: "Oh, finally, you're home. The kids have been driving me mad all day, and I've had zero help from you as usual. They needed a bath 30 minutes ago, and the dishes aren't going to wash themselves either." James: "Give me a break. I have just walked in the door, and I've been working hard all day. I'm guessing dinner isn't ready either since you've been so busy." Can you see what the couple is doing to each other? They are not showing each other any respect, nor are they working as a team. It's almost like they are saying to each other, "I am better than you, and you are not worthy of my time." The best way to avoid contempt is to describe your feelings without giving blame. This can be done by avoiding using you statements so that he doesn't feel attacked. Here's an example. "Do you have to spend so much time with your co-workers? We may as well not be married since we act as roommates anyway." Instead, you could say, "Can we look at spending more time together on Friday night? We've both been busy lately. It'd be nice to have some one-on-one time." In order for a relationship to succeed, you must avoid speaking to your partner in a negative way. It will be near impossible for a relationship to thrive if it's filled with hurtful words and disrespect. That wraps up today's video on the top 5 worst things to say to a man. Don't forget, you can claim your free gift by clicking the link below. We would love for you to click the like button and subscribe to our channel for the best dating and relationship tips and tricks. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.